Lately, I'm sure you've seen a lot of stories of clans ruling the Rev Caves, the entire country of Venezuela basically creating their own new kingdom there, and clans making billions of GP off their backs. Now, what if I told you the caves are empty? That's right, every world that was previously protected is just completely abandoned. Today's story is about a clan leader who once had complete and total control over the Rev Caves before he ran off with 3 billion GP. And if you think that's a lot, just wait until you hear how much he actually made before that. So let's do a quick refresher on what's going on in the Rev Caves right now. Revs are some of the most consistent money in the game, which is, as you'd guess, great for gold farming. However, it's a multi-combat area, so at any moment you could have an entire team of PKers log in on you, call you racial slurs, steal your stuff, and dip. So protection clans arose. You pay a protection clan a few mil and they'll protect you from other PKers for however long. Seems simple, right? Well, it was until these same clans became the PKers. They would hop around worlds where people weren't using protection, kill them, and go, oh no, how could this have happened?
Who killed Hannibal?
Here, my friend, just the small price of 1 million GP and my entire clan will protect you. Essentially, it became, I'll break your kneecaps unless you pay me not to. But, at the same time, I'll make sure nobody else breaks your kneecaps. Now, it's a lot more complicated than that, as you'll see in a minute. Okay, so I make a lot of videos about RuneScape's freaks and how to avoid them, right? But what about all the freaks on the rest of the internet? That is why I recommend you use Surfshark VPN. Not only do they have a slick name, they have a quality service. Right now, your ISP could be selling your data to whoever they want. With a VPN, you put yourself and your data in a nice little cozy blanket of security. Just look at all these things that this blanket can do for you. Now, besides just protecting yourself, you can also use it to watch things on streaming services that aren't available in your country. I live in America. I want to watch Lord of the Rings on Netflix. It's not there. So I open up Surfshark, change my location to Brazil, and there is all 3 movies ready for me to watch while I play RuneScape. Get Surfshark VPN using the link in the description or on screen now, and enter the promo code NELLO for an 83% discount and 3 extra months for free. Plus, if you don't like it, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's nothing to lose. Thank you, Surfshark, for your sponsorship. This is where Belle Delphine comes in. No, unfortunately not that one. He's pretty knowledgeable about the Rev Caves, and you've likely seen their posts on the top of Old School's Reddit. They got me in touch with someone who has asked to go by Not Iblis. I know, real secretive. Okay, now keep in mind, all this information is from him. I only loosely knew the timeline of these events beforehand, but I can assure you he is who he says he is, and the events he's told me do line up with what I've seen. I was shown documents and messages that the average player wouldn't be able to get their hands on. Our story begins with a clan called Community PK, also known as CPK. Before protection was around, it was an open clan chat revolved around, well, you could probably guess it was PKing. Soon after protection services began, Not Iblis was approached by a clan called Moi World. They wanted to forge an alliance with CPK, which would A, keep their members off the worlds they protected, and B, kill their enemies. In return, they receive 150 mil to 230 mil every week. Yay, everyone's happy, happy fun making money time. So this worked great for half a year until CPK asked for more money. Moi said no, and CPK declared war. RuneScape clans can do that, I guess. Moi World retaliated by paying CPK's allies to turn on them, which resulted in CPK eventually allying with our boy XModjed's clan, the good old Reign of Terror, also known as Rot, also known as Reddit's punching bag. After 2 months of constant warring with Moi and their allies, CPK came out on top, essentially killing Moi's business, and then the world was ending and toilet paper was nowhere to be found. While PKers panicked, Rank 2 Smithing was sitting comfortably in his own feces. But that's besides the point. Most of CPK's staff was out of work, but luckily for them, they had learned how Revenant protection worked and how to do it from those 6 months they worked with Moi. So as you can guess, they started their own Revenant protection business. Moi protected all of 1250 and 1500 total worlds, which now belong to CPK. So they passed off half the 1250 worlds to clans called Plex and Scold Revs, and handled the 1500s themselves. Well, that was until CPK decided to kill off Scold Revs. Because, fuck it, why not? CPK grew and grew, gaining members from the clans they killed off, as well as allies. At this point, CPK reached out to a lot of YouTubers and offered them free protection in exchange for a video about their clan. This caused an explosion in their traffic. Prior to these videos, the clan was pulling around 3 to 5 bill every week in profit. Afterwards, they had some weeks where they were hitting 10 billion GP. That's more than I have made in my, I don't know now, like 15 years of playing RuneScape. After PKers were paid their split, Not Iblis was pocketing around 500 mil to 1 billion GP a week. Soon after these videos, CPK and their allies worked together to forge an alliance called Wellfarers. Each clan in the alliance managed different total level worlds. They had a Discord where they could communicate if an enemy clan was trying to crash a world.
So over the Tropical Parrots, for a listening, they're being absolutely decimated. Let's see what I got to say.
If their world was getting crashed, they would spam the chat and hope that their allies came to help them. Later on, CPK and Plex brought the two biggest Venezuelan Revenant clans into the alliance, and the rest followed soon after. So essentially, all of the Revenant Caves were being completely dominated by these protection clans and their Venezuelan army. From there, Iblis had basically achieved his goal of complete control over the Rev Caves. And that's when the 20% nerf update went into the game. Not Iblis got pissed, so him and his co-leader, Not Noodle, also very mysterious name, dipped from the clan chat with a payout pot worth 3 billion GP. As a result, CPK crumbled and the other clans and Wellfarers filled their spots. Fast forward a few weeks and Wellfarers has morphed into a new clan called La Mafia. Every world is under their control again with Rot at the top of it. Now Rot themselves can't run these caves, so who do they employ? I mean, it's a fairly obvious guess, it's Venezuela. Rot protects the 2k and 2.2k total worlds, while their quite literal endless armies of Venezuelans protect the other worlds. But that didn't work out too well. At the time of me writing this video, the Venezuelans have revolted against Rot and are slamming them. This has essentially left most total worlds completely empty. There's still a couple protection worlds, but when I hopped around to try and find them, I could only find one, and I hopped off of it right away because I didn't want to die. So what's the point of the story? The caves aren't just the entire country of Venezuela ruining the old school economy. It's a weird mix of clans essentially tossing the Venezuelan army around like a deflated football. Except the football gets more and more upset every time you throw it. There's constant war in the caves, and rather than them being bearable with protection services, they're essentially unusable except for this brief period of peace, since there's really no consistent protection clans at the moment. It's kinda just a weird free-for-all in the caves right now. Now, there is another theory that the caves are empty because Jagex did say they are officially collecting data on them and investigating them to look for an actual solution. So some people think that every clan just decided, alright, we're gonna stay out of the Rev Caves and just wait for this whole situation to die down, which I don't think is the case because there's still wars going on in the caves over protected worlds, and I believe that any clan that would try to set up shop there to try and make their own protection clan would probably get immediately smashed. And I should probably also remind you, a lot of these people in these clans, like I said, are Venezuelan, and they literally play RuneScape to survive. So they're not going to give up their best moneymaker just because Jagex says they're gonna look into it. So some of the solutions are things like roaming revs, making the revs spawn at certain hotspot locations, making the caves task only, and all sorts of stuff. I could spend an entire video talking about Rev Cave solutions, but other video makers already have that covered. So I guess if you're a high total level or aren't afraid of the non-total level worlds, you could go give revs a try, but now that this video's come out, I can't really promise that you won't die, so good luck. So do you think Jagex still needs to come up with a good solution, or is this fine for now? I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. I will see you in the next one.